Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, or whatever time you are watching this. Get the fuck off of my porch. What does that mean? Okay. Psalms 83. Y'all familiar with that, right? The people, who they talking about? The mongrels, the heathens that come together, you know what I'm saying? Spread out. They build towers like Legos all up everywhere they go. They intermingle and take over, then take the name of the people, and then they move on. Did you know the definition of an American was a copper-colored person found here by the races of Europeans? And then less than 200 years later, it became and the Europeans. I thought the Europeans were Europeans. Now they're Americans. Before they were Americans, they were Germanic tribes. Before Germanic tribes, they were just heathens in the motherfucking mountains. They incorporated their identity into the land and then took it over. So get the fuck off of my porch basically represents, hold on for a second. She said something, I don't know what she's talking about. Get the fuck off of my porch is Virginia. This is where they came. Virginia extended from Philadelphia all the way down to Florida. It was big. That's why they call it the Virginia Company. From the Virgin Mary and Maryland, from Mary, you know what I'm saying? That's where these names come from, okay? So the porch of the United States would be Virginia. Got it? So when I say get the fuck off of my porch, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not a racist. I'm a realist. I'm a truth seeker, figure for truth, you know what I'm saying? And when I discuss these things, I discuss them from the point of view of a person who is, I'm trying to stay my ebonics, is seeking truth and trying to give that truth to you from primary sources. Let's pretend. You got a house. You got some people that don't have a house. They come across the street. They basically living on the street, but they casing your house. So one day they come and knock on your door and say, my kids are going through hell right now. Can you watch my kids? Can you just let them in, let them get warm, and could you possibly feed them? And because, you know, you're the type of people that you are, you know, you have a giving heart. We have a giving heart. We try, you know, we let the kids, especially for children, we let the children in, you know, not knowing that there was an agenda with that, you know what I'm saying? Letting the kids in, kind of like, you know, invited them in because, hell, they got to come in, you know what I'm saying? To talk to you about, you know, to tell, well, my child eats this and da-da-da-da-da, yada, yada. Then all of a sudden, these kids start to grow up and the parents come over more and more until they actually be over there just as much as you. And then one day, these kids and these parents whoop your ass and tie your ass up and put you in the basement for a little bit, you know, so they can re-educate you to who runs this daggone household. You know what I'm saying? So after the fact, we're doing the fact, they invite some of their cousins over, some of their friends, you know, some of these other people that they like, the Moors and all these other, you know what I'm saying, Edomites, whoever the fuck they cool with, Germans, whatever the fuck, they bring all these people over here, China, India people, all types of people, you know what I'm saying? So when they finally do let you out of the basement and bring you back upstairs, more than likely at gunpoint, You get introduced to all these new people and they eating your food, using your water, using your resources, and they just taking over your house. Eventually you get old, decrepit. Now their kids are grown, they're having kids, you know what I'm saying? And even though, what's going on, bro? Even though the kids didn't actually do, the grandkids didn't actually do the dirt, they're the benefactors of the dirt, you see what I'm saying? So they're like, yay, I can't wait until the house is mine, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna run it like this and I'm gonna run it. They bragging on how they gonna run the shit, you know what I'm saying? While you, as an older man and old as hell, can't do anything about it, and your kids are just in limbo because you can't explain to them like the real deal, or you might get knocked upside the head, you know what I'm saying? But every once in a while, you slip a little bit of info in, a little bit of info, a little bit of info, but eventually you die. So each individual, you know what I'm saying, generation gets less and less information. You see what I'm saying? But let's just say that they, when they first came and said, can you watch my kids? Because we don't have anywhere to go. They wrote all this stuff down in their language, which you couldn't understand. Let's say it was Yiddish or something. Eventually, after a few generations of them using this language, you, the copper-colored man who owns the house, get privy to that language a few times and you start to recognize it. And then you discover the truth that this was an agenda from Jump Street to take over your entire house. Okay? So now, these people who are now 3-4 generations deep in your house, they're farming using your stuff that you had. They're using your refrigerator, your everything, and you looking at them use it, and you say to yourself, these things are supposed to be mine, but you can't prove it because there's no way to prove it. You know what I'm saying? Every generation, they created events that will prevent you from ever discovering the truth. It's your house. It's been your house. You know what I'm saying? So another generation goes past, and that generation says, you know what, fuck this. I know this is my house. I'm gonna get this house back. So you go to look for the information, the deeds to the house that go to your great-great-grandfather, just to discover that they were burned outside in the backyard, just destroyed generations ago. And you go to the person who's currently running the house and you say, I know this is my house. And that person said, okay, well, my grandfather gave me the house. And then you say, well, I know that it's my house because I can prove it. These are my initials in the floorboards. That was my daddy's initials. They did this when they first got the house. And then the guy that's in the house, the cult that's running the house now says, well, prove it. And you say, look, it's my initials right there. Nah, you got to prove it using my paperwork. Get some of my paperwork and prove it. I don't recognize that language. That's a whole nother, I don't know that. I don't know about that Hebrew. I don't know nothing about that. And then you say, well, some people across the street that look just like you that's using this language trying to pretend like they our family and they really not. And then he look like I don't care about that shit. You got to prove that this is your house, right? So prove it. So you try to find all of the little pieces and shards of paper that was burned up in the backyard, and you come up with bullets. Nothing. So you say to yourself, this snake motherfucker burned these daggone papers because they knew that this day would come. Well, I would try to prove that this is my house and it was passed down through my relatives. So you sit there and you look at these people enjoying your house and you say, that's fucked up. And they look at you like, I didn't do it. I mean, shit. I'm not my great-grandfather. I'm just here. I mean, shit. I didn't have anything to do with that. But they sitting there eating your cereal. That is America, y'all. That is the fucking shit that is happening down to you think make it sound crazy. It might sound crazy, but you know what? The analogy fits like a glove. Okay, this is what's happened, and I can prove it, and I will prove it. If you're not on my channel, it's called Kai Win Aboriginal or Chpter. Okay, that means sprung up from the earth. Check me out, okay? All right, because I got a lot of information that I'm gonna disclose, and I could give a fuck if they don't like it. I'm gonna keep doing it. Don't take the vaccine, baby.